All right, welcome to today's video. We're going to be reviewing Dux-Soup, the quote #1 LinkedIn automation platform in the world, is what they claim. And I'm also going to be showing you an alternative to Dux-Soup that, in my opinion, is a lot more effective and modern. But with that said, let's just go ahead and dive right in because you're here to hear about Dux-Soup. So, #1, Dux-Soup. It is probably one of the oldest LinkedIn automation tools out there on the market. And they're still around for a reason. They do a pretty darn good job of being consistent. With Dux-Soup, what you do is you go to a vendor like Apollo or Sales Navigator. You grab a lead list that matches your ICP, and you add that lead list to your Dux-Soup campaign that will then go and reach out to each of those people in your list on LinkedIn through pretty standardized campaigns. So a campaign, for example, can be day 1, let's send a connection request to this lead. Day 2, send them a DM. Day 3, view their profile for a softer touch point. Day 4, send them a follow-up message, and then they either reply or they don't reply, and that's about it. So it works really well, and you can see they have a lot of social proof here. Again, they've been around for a long time, and the only issue that I really find when using Dux-Soup is that the leads that you're targeting are static. They haven't been updated in a long time. You don't know if they are even active on LinkedIn because you're bringing in these leads from an outside source. Where I would like to see Dux-Soup take a step up, in my opinion, is by monitoring active sources like LinkedIn to find leads that you then can go and reach out to. But overall, if your goal is just to take a lead list and pipe it into an automation platform, Dux-Soup it's great for that, honestly. So that's Dux-Soup. But if you want to really reach out to high intent leads, so these are people who in the last 24 hours have showed intent on LinkedIn, I'd recommend a tool like Prospect Zero. So Prospect Zero, instead of having a static lead list you're reaching out to, it's going and scraping LinkedIn every 24 hours to find the exact people who are talking about your niche, who are interacting with your competitors, and also match your ICP. So it's a pretty simple and straightforward system. We use AI and agents to be able to let you find these leads, right? So you have signals that you can track. So if here for this example, we have James. He's a founder at Home Solution Pros. This meets our criteria in terms of our ICP. And he also, 2 hours ago, engaged with Adam Robinson's content. Adam, for us, is somebody who shares an ICP with us. He's an influencer on LinkedIn. So we're really going to want to be able to track his stuff and target those leads effectively. In terms of how it works, essentially you'll just come in and you'll create a new agent. When you go through onboarding, you'll also be able just to copy and paste your company URL, and it will go ahead and understand exactly who your company is, what's your value props, who's your target customer, and we can actually build out your entire ICP for you and basically go find the leads 24/7, so you don't really have to lift a finger. So let's just call this our YouTube agent, since we're on YouTube today. So you tell us who you're targeting. Let's say we're targeting accounting firms because we have an accounting solution, or we have a solution for accounting firms in the United States. We want self-employed. Maybe we can add up to 10 employees in United States. And then job titles, we'll just put CEO and founder. So let's move on to the signals part. This is where things get interesting, right? So you can set up different signals that basically scream to you that this person needs your service, right? Top 5% leads. These are leads that fit your ICP that have been active on LinkedIn in the last 24 hours. So they're much more likely to reply. Any of your own posts, anyone who follows you, if you have creator mode enabled on LinkedIn, anyone who follows your company, engages with your company posts, all those leads are going to be brought into Prospect Zero and are going to be reached out to with as well personalization. So it's not just like a standard plain text kind of thing. So competitors and market attention. These are some really big ones here. Influencers, competitors, and keywords that people are posting about. We can bring all of these leads in as well. You just have to simply know which influencers you want to track, which competitors you want to track, and which keywords you want to. And then if you do have LinkedIn Premium, you can as well have anybody who visits your profile be reached out to. And again, this is always as long as they're meeting your ICP. So you're really getting the best of both worlds when it comes to the list building side of things. Now, here's where things get a little interesting, right? There's a lot you can do with these leads that are brought in. The one thing we know is that your offer is timely and relevant at this point. So you can either run direct LinkedIn outreach to these people, or you can send these leads to Slack, and eventually you can send them to your email sending tools and enrichment tools, right? That's for the future. But if we want to set up our LinkedIn campaigns, it's super simple. Our AI already understands your business. Just tell it your objectives, which I'll do really quickly here. We can go short, medium, and then we're just going to say, for this step, mention 3 to 4x reply rates on LinkedIn via prospect 0. So let's go ahead and move my face over. Let's generate this sample message. So this is like an idea of the first message that will go out. Thanks for the action on our post about intent scoring. Prospect 0 is hitting 3 to 4 times reply rates on LinkedIn. By automating this, worth a quick look at a demo, right? We chose book a demo. We chose a tone authority. Length is short, right? We're going to send out 3 messages to your leads, an intro, a follow-up, and a final. All of these can be configured and customized. And then once you're done doing that, all you do is hit launch agent. And then within 10 to 15 minutes, you'll start having qualified leads come in. And those leads will start, we already have one that has been found here. It hasn't showed up yet, but it should in a second. But here's an example of a agent that I've built that is doing just this for us. I mean, you can see we've cycled through 15,000 leads in the last 30 days who all subscribe to our signals. We've qualified 610. We've had 147 reply. That's about a 25% reply rate right there. And if you know anything about LinkedIn outreach, that's pretty darn good as far as it goes for contacting cold outbound prospects. And the reason why is we're targeting people who are high intent. They're showing intent. They're active on LinkedIn. They're people who are actually going to reply. We're not pulling from a static database. So it's a lot different than Dux-Soup. And I think Dux-Soup is a really solid solution if you just want basic outreach. But if you really want solid results in today's modern landscape when it comes to business development and sales and the way that LinkedIn works, right, you're going to need something a little bit more robust. And I would say Prospect 0. Obviously, I'm biased because I own the company, but I would say this is a great solution for you. So we do have a 7-day free trial. I recommend you start one. You don't have to pay a dime. You put in a credit card, yes, but you can cancel whenever you want. And just give it a go. See if it'll work for your business or not. So thank you guys. Have a great day. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you.